Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I last published something, so I thought I would give you a brief update in the form of one sentence only. And the sentence goes like this. Thanks to our patrons, I just published some patrols on Tabletop Simulator's workshop. So you can additively load them to the Essence of War table and recreate the 9th Age Meta Triangular League, which will begin next week on Twitch. It is one sentence, but it's full of words, lots of words. So let's go through the whole thing one by one and unpack all the major content points. Let's begin with the 9th Age. You probably are already familiar with the 9th Age, a wargame by gamers for gamers. It is a bit like chess, but on steroids, as a famous YouTuber liked to say in the past. And instead of playing with predetermined pieces, then each player can come with their own figurines that they build, glue together and paint, sometimes to crazy levels of detail. Now, since as you see the field is all open, there's no squares as you have on a chessboard, the rules are a bit more intricate and they allow it for deeper interaction with the different units. And also, since each piece is more or less different, then instead of having one-line rules like you have in chess where the bishop moves diagonally, for example, you have profiles that help identify the strengths and the weaknesses of each unit. Each of these pieces are grouped by factions, which are a bit like the nations or races of this world. So for example, you have the demons and they have like their own book. You have the elves of the woods, and there's some 20 of those, right? So this is a war game, the 9th Age, and we are now going to play a meta triangular league. What is a meta triangular league? Well, what is a triangular league to begin with? It's a league with 3 participants, that's A, B and C, and you have 3 games, A versus B, A versus C, B versus C. And then in the end, with some system of points, you determine who's the winner. So imagine that B is the winner of this triangular league. And when you have a meta triangular league, which is a triangular league of triangular leagues, then you simply take the winner of each triangular league and you run a final league with that. So for example, in the one that we are running, there's a triangular league with players from the United States, one with players from Germany, and the other one from England. We're going to take the winner of each of these 3 individual leagues and we'll have play them against each other so that we can get the international winner of the Meta Triangular League, right? We're playing this on Twitch. You probably heard of Twitch. It's a streaming service. It's a bit like YouTube, but there's a bit more emphasis on live content. And I have a channel there where I upload games every now and then. If you want to follow the league, you can go to twitch.tv/Veil of the Ages. Right? Now, this means that this league is being streamed live because it takes place on a video game service. We're not flying the winner from the English team or from the United States team here to Germany to play the final league. We're playing this on Tabletop Simulator. Tabletop Simulator, as the name indicates, is a video game that simulates playing on a tabletop. And you can play traditional games like chess, like Go, poker, but you can also get more creative and play mini golf, or of course, as we are doing, playing the 9th Age war games. So you see here a screenshot of a game that we live streamed on Twitch, where we were playing with a friend from Sweden and one from Scotland, for example. Now, Tabletop Simulator is interesting because it also has a workshop. So it means that instead of only playing the games that already exist there, you can also upload your own content. You go to the workshop and then you post your own adaptation of a game that you've made. And across the years, there's been quite a number of entries that have been posted there. And so what I did was to put some things for the 9th Age onto the workshop for the 9th Tabletop Simulator. So if you go on the Tabletop Simulator webpage for the workshop on the platform that's called Steam, you can search for T9A, the 9th Age, and you will find all of the relevant things that are available for the 9th age in Tabletop Simulator. What did I upload over there? I uploaded patrols. So what are patrols? Patrols in the rulebook for the 9th age are these one-page lists of tiny armies. There's one general and 3 units, and you have one for each of the 20 factions that we were mentioning at the beginning. Now, this list is called the patrol, and then you can use it to create your army made of miniatures or figurines that you use to play on the battlefield. So you see here to the left the patrol on paper, and then to the right this image of miniatures with the general and the unit of wolves and the unit of orcs and the unit of goblins, for example. And the way you would normally have your army made of plastic or metal to play on the actual tabletop, when you are playing on Tabletop Simulator, you can take one of these patrols, one of these lists, and then you can create digital models collections like this one that I've made for the Undying Dynasties. And so what I've done is to upload these patrols to the workshop for Tabletop Simulator so that you can use them to play, right? Now, those are just collections of digital models. You cannot play with that only, you need a table to play them with. And so I have already uploaded a table for this game. Again, if you search for T9A, the 9th age, in the workshop for Tabletop Simulator, you just go to your browser and you search for that in a search engine. Then you will find this module here called the 9th age Essence of War, and this is the table that I have prepared on which you can play your battles. Now, in order to do this, you have to additively load the patrol on top of the table. So you go to the workshop, you subscribe to the mod, you load the table, and then you click on the patrol that you want to load, but you do additive load. And in this way, you have the patrol appearing to the right on this gray bar to the right here, next to the manual, because the table also has the manual in-game, as you can see here from the zoomed-in version, right? So these patrols, they are meant to work with the game system called Essence of War. Essence of War is one of the game systems available into the universe of the 9th age, and as I've shown you before, the 9th age tends to be in its main game tends to be quite a rich experience with lots of models, lots of miniatures to paint, to buy, and games are quite long. Essence of War, on the other hand, is the compacted version where games can last up to even less than 1 hour. It's fast, fun games. And also in the big game called Fantasy Battles from the 9th age, there's a lot of interaction between the different units and the different rules. So the rule set is quite hefty. It's more than 500 pages of black and white text. It's interesting. It's tough stuff. On the other hand, Essence of War is a very simplified rule set. There's only some 20 pages of rules, including figures and niceties. So it's a very simplified rule set. And so that's it, really. The last thing to unpack here in this sentence is that this has all been possible thanks to my patrons, to which I'm very grateful. These are people that are supporting me on Patreon. And I don't know if you know Patreon. This is a website where creators, people who want to share something with the community like me, say, all right, so I'm gonna do online video game adaptations for the 9th age, and people who enjoy that can throw money your way. They can give you, I don't know, $1 or $2 each month, so that I can buy me a coffee during the long hours of work, or maybe I can organize other activities, like for example going to conventions and showcasing how the 9th age works in these fairs, which tend to be quite expensive. So it's good to have a way of recouping some of those expenses. To thank people who are there, I tend to give these previews and to test new things that I'm going to publish next. So if you wanna help the patrons to support me in putting all this content out, you can go to patreon.com/Veil of the Ages. And I would say that with this, this is all. This is the wall of text, but now hopefully it should be more digestible. Thanks to our patrons, I just published some patrols on Tabletop Simulator's workshop, so you can additively load them to the Essence of War table and recreate the 9th Age Meta Triangular League, which will begin next week on Twitch. And that's all for me and for this update. See you soon for the Meta Triangular League indeed. Bye.